episode number 231. Are these comics going to make good film and television shows? We have the Amazing Spider-Man #1 and Not Way Back Machine. This is actually just came out. And we have Star Wars Tales of the Jedi #2. So let's talk about them right now. We got 2 Marvel books. That's unusual. All right, let's talk about them right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I am your host, Frank Zanca. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And we're going to jump into these Marvel comics. But before we do, remember to give me a like, give me a subscribe if you can. I normally put up videos daily, but I am going to go back on set for the next 2 weeks. We have a film, so I probably will be dark for a little bit. I'll try to put out just the weekly, the Frank Ranks one, which is probably all I'm going to be able to do during the weekend. But yeah, also, if you guys have ever noticed, I have my ads from YouTube turned off. So instead of watching ads, I do my little 30-second spiel about checking out my Amazon books. So go to Amazon, type my name in, and you'll see, I got my Destiny Aurora shirt on, my 4 novel series. And on top of that, it was made into a board game, an RPG, and a audio book, as well as a graphic novel. I think you guys that love sci-fi, it's definitely one to read there. And then, of course, I have my fantasy book, Tales of Ravenor the Iron Witch. I have my comics up there. I have a Holocaust biography called Escape from Berlin. And Shadow Raven, who's also not only in his own book, but he's also in Destiny Aurora. I have a new book I'm working on called Battle for the Ruby Slippers. And on top of that, I'm going to be launching a new comic on Kickstarter called Fairy Tales of Terror, and the art is looking really, really great. All right, so let's jump into the Amazing Spider-Man. So I've never been a really big Spider-Man fan. Back in the 90s, I loved it. You know, when they were dealing when Black Cat was first introduced, Cloak and Dagger were first introduced. There was Silvermane, the Hobgoblin stuff I loved. I loved the way he looked. There was also, I think in the 90s, the cartoon was really good. So Spider-Man in the 90s was, late 80s, early 90s was just great. And he's never had a run like that again. So this was a new thing by Joe Kelly. So I figured, okay, I'll pick it up. But here's the thing. Marvel's books have gone down not only in quality, but as far as sales. So they think that by raising the price, they're going to make more money. So this is 30 pages with a backup story, and it is $6. $6. They have balls this big to think that they're going to be able to just raise the price of $1 just willy-nilly. I mean, kids have been priced out of comics completely. And it's Marvel's fault for the most part. Every time, because DC, I think, just kind of follows. But Marvel thinks that they can just charge whatever. So, I mean, in fact, DC, I was going to pick up Rivals. And it was like $7, $8. I'm like, go fuck yourself. No way. There's no comic worth that. But anyway, we start out, and I know why now I don't collect Spider-Man. So this is supposedly better than the stuff that was in the past, and that scares the frig out of me. So we have to have 3 or 4 pages of Peter just going on interviews. I don't need to see this. If you want to do a page of it, great, but I do not need to see 3 or 4 pages of him going on interviews. It's a waste. I'm on page 4 and 5 now, and now he's with Aunt May. So, and then on top of that, he gets a call from Rand Industries. Okay, that's Iron Fist. Iron Fist, I don't know if they know who that his secret identity. But if I was him, I would actually tell Danny, I'm Spider-Man, so can you help me out here? I need a job. And on top of that, he can just say, look, I may have to bolt out occasionally, and Danny would understand. But anyway, it ends up being not Danny, but his friend that gets him in there, the one he's done pranks with or some stupid shit like that. And then he hears, something which apparently his bud doesn't even hear it. I don't know that Spider-Man has super hearing, but apparently he does, or his buddy's just stupid, one or the other. And he just bolts out. He doesn't say, hey, look. All he had to do was go, oh, hey, Aunt May, oh, you fell? Oh, I'll be right there. And boom, dude, my old aunt just fell. I have to go real quick. I'll be right back. That's all he had to say. Instead, he says nothing, just disappears. What is wrong with this guy? And then we have the Rhino, who's just going bonkers or whatever. And so I like the way that Spider-Man is drawn here. I like the colors. Like the coloring on this is really good. The dynamics on this is really good. But then, okay, so here's the thing. So I know he's fought Rhino for a while now, probably 50 years. But he hits him with a truck, right? I mean, he smashes him head first with a truck. And then he's surprised. So he comes out of it. But then he's surprised that when he falls flat, he's like, I just hit you with a truck, man. I know it's something else causing it, but come on, you just hit him with a truck. Oh, did I give you a concussion? So anyway, his heart stops, and Peter ends up, I guess, hitting him hard enough where he restarts his heart. Whatever. I guess that's supposed to be a touching moment, but anyway, then I guess we have Hobgoblin here. I don't know who the other person talking is, because it looks like the Hobgoblin costume is in the thing. I don't know if he's talking to him like a shadow of himself or something. And then we have to have Peter going on dates now. Why? Why do we need this? So we have another 2 pages of that. And I think we only get 19 pages of story here. So he has his spider sense tingling, but I guess it's whatever was affecting Rhino, affected him. We get a nice little, anxiety 2-page spread here, but that's it. That's the entire issue, and then we get this stupid 2-page spread of nothing. And thank you for your $6, sir. And then we get this backup story by Romita Jr., where Osborn is going to be giving up his company, but then when this stupid cyborg guy blames him for his wife's death or whatever else, he throws a piece of the thing at his face, and he decides he's going to stay on. That's it. Why do we need this backup story? No idea. This could have been told in one friggin' page. 1 page. Instead, we get 5 or 6 pages of it. The whole thing is 30 pages. That's it. That's it. And then we get this backup, another backup story. So if you didn't even go far enough, you didn't even see this backup story. Yeah, where Ares comes out. So basically 2 backup stories and a very small interior story for $6. This is a one and drop for me. Goodbye, Spider-Man. Goodbye. I tried collecting Ultimate Spider-Man. Too damn slow for me. And this is just all over the place, man. I mean, this is a Pollock painting. He just threw enough shit against the wall, man, and said, all right, here's Spider-Man. We got Osborn doing this. We got Ares doing that. We got Rhino doing that. Aren't you happy? Oh, and by the way, we had to have him go out on a date. We need 10 pages of him going on interviews. and then dropping out of the interview, dropping out of the job that he just got. Yeah, it's good stuff, man. You really nailed Spider-Man, Joe Kelly. Really nailed him. Woo! Awful. Awful. If you like this, more power to you, man. But I haven't heard anybody going head over heels on this thing, man. Nobody's doing jumper jacks that this issue 1. All right. I hope that the movie's better. That's all I can say. I hope the movie's better. So I dropped off of Star Wars completely. First of all, that once they raised the price on everything, because again, Marvel thinks that they can charge $10 for their books and say, yeah, man, yeah, I can. How many books is Marvel doing right now? 30 books? Yeah, raise the price of $10 on everything. I'll pay it. I dropped everything. I dropped it all. But they ended up dropping the price now because Star Wars is shit. Nobody was buying it. Nobody's watching it. It's gone. Star Wars is gone. So they dropped the price to $4. And I liked a lot of the characters in here, so I picked up issue number 1 by Mark Guggenheim, and I thought it was pretty decent, surprisingly. And on top of that, they're going, because I dropped regular Star Wars too, because they had it between Empire and Jedi, which it doesn't work. You're going to mess with canon too much, so I dropped that too. But they have Alex Segura writing it. I'm going to give it a shot. At least it's after Jedi now, so it's not going to mess with canon. So I'm fine with that. But anyway, this is about I guess they're pairing up different Jedis, and they're going to go on little missions. I like the idea of that. So we start out with this cold open of all of these. I mean, they look like, xenophobes there, or xeno whatever, from Alien. I wish they had, the artwork is only okay here. I wish they had picked I think Yoda looks good. But everything else, I'm like, it's okay. I wish that they had picked a different character for him to be with, because she looks just a little bit too just common. She looks like a common thing. I would have preferred, some of the other female Jedis look pretty good with the head tails and stuff like that. I forgot some of the names of them, but I would have preferred some of those instead. But anyway, we're stuck with her, and it's fine. But they decide that they're hiding something. So Yoda says, well, how are we going to get them to, if they're going to watch our every move, how are we going to find out what's going on? So they said, well, we're just going to leave. Actually, really good idea. So they take off so their mental or whatever else, security goes down because they're gone. They jump off the ship so then they can kind of walk around on their own. Surprising in Star Wars, there's no security cameras, but whatever. But anyway, she has like a little episode or whatever. I don't know. It's never really brought up again. But I like that page. But anyway, he's growing all this stuff, and they find out that they kind of self-replicate, but they look exactly like Alien from Aliens. I think they kind of come up with a better design than stealing Alien. I know Geiger did a really good job there. But anyway, it's like, there's too many of them. But then he leaves. He leaves her behind to deal with it. But he does do a Force thing where he says, there's never too many, and whatever else he uses the Force. But then he leaves her there to go after the other guy. And I like that panel up on top where the camera's down below. Anyway, they fight. Apparently, if it's Vishkar or whatever it is, but his staff does not get broken by the lightsaber. So there's that. But I think the fight is generally good, except that Yoda gets hit, which I was surprised that Yoda got hit. But I guess that's to show that this guy's no slouch. But anyway, then Yoda gets his own hit and slashes the mask up and down and I really kind of like the face on that. I think that's really cool. But anyway, the guy escapes, and Yoda gets picked up while the other guy's escaping. They get in their ship, but I guess she's kind of killed them off with the other Jedis who have shown up. So I guess they had backup come to help clean up the rest of them that were still in the cases. And then we find out that he has a whole nother ship full of them. Which I kind of have in one of my books too. And then we get, I guess this is going to be the continuing story of whatever this assassin guy is that's after Qui-Gon. And Obi-Wan saw this in a Force vision. But anyway, there's the assassin, I guess, without his helmet on. And in the next issue, we're getting... It says all there is like 2-page spreads the whole time. So it's like a big action. And the whole next one is a whole big action thing with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. Good stuff, man. Having a full Jedi TV show with the old characters, I think that's a good idea. But Disney, and I would not do anything with Star Wars until Kathleen Kennedy's gone. And we'll see who takes over. If we have to wait 10 years for her to be too old to come into the office, then Star Wars should just die for the next 10 years. Until Kathleen Kennedy's gone, there's no reason to do any more Star Wars stuff. Ahsoka's going to fail. Ahsoka's going to be horrible. Just horrible. The first season was god awful. And what's the other one that's coming up? I forgot. Andor. So Andor, I got bored. I know that people say that was really good, but in fact, I'm probably not even going to watch the rest of the first season. Maybe I'll just watch a couple episodes of the second season, see if it picks up at all, because it was just too slow for me, man. And I don't think that the main guy that Andor has, the guy who plays Andor, has any charisma whatsoever. He's just middle of the road actor, man. But yeah, so if I was them, I would just until they can get Kathleen Kennedy out the door, just don't do any Star Wars, man, because it's only going to fail. All right, so let's do a recap real quick. Jedi Knights, yeah, I'd love to see a movie with this, as long as Lucasfilm was totally revamped. And Amazing Spider-Man #1. Let's hope the movie's better. That's all I can say, because it's a piece of shit. It's a piece of shit. I don't know how you screw Spider-Man up for this long too. I mean, I keep hearing everybody complain continuously. So I tried it, and I agree, it's shit. Which means that the other stuff I didn't get was even bigger shit. Anyway, that's it for me. Give me a like, give me a thumbs up, share this video out there. If you can ring that bell with a subscription, that would be great. I am going to be falling off my daily routine because I am doing that movie for the next 2 weeks. And on top of that, go to Amazon.com and type my name in, and you can make fun of some of the stuff that I've written. All right, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, bye.